Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel, and ahead of BKFC 57, I have the pleasure of being joined by Edgar Pazaola, is our guest. And what has been the furthest off that you've heard somebody say for your last name?
Listen, let's just put it that I hear people really, really chewing my name really bad. So no worries, you're good, man. You got it.
Pleasure to get to talk to you, sir. Bare knuckle fighter, mixed martial artist. I kind of wanted to start off there. Do you look at yourself as like a fighter, a mixed martial artist, a martial artist? Like, who are you in this journey?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. Let's just put it this way: it's been a development. By heart, I'm a fighter. This is the reason why I started doing martial arts. But then, as like with years of experience, I'm currently a black belt at this point. I can I can say that I'm a full mixed martial artist. I live the martial arts life. But of course, part of it is having that fighter in you.
How much of a growth process was that getting from where you started to becoming a martial artist to living that lifestyle? How much of a growth for you as an individual was that?
Oh man, it's been my life, like to put it in simple words, like the way that I see it, like martial arts saved my life, you know, changed my life. And it's been a long process. I still, like growing as it is, but I'm really enjoying it and I wouldn't change it for anything else. Uh thanks to martial arts, I'm the man that I am right now. All my success is due to that. I met I built my family through martial arts. I met my wife, friendships, mentors, everything is, like through the windows. So that's why, like I really enjoy the life of coaching too, because I cannot pay back benefits that I got from martial arts, but I definitely can pay forward by sharing the knowledge, and by transferring martial arts to other individuals as well.
What was it like before martial arts? What was it that you felt was sending you in the wrong direction?
Well, like a lot of people, like very young. I'm from Nicaragua, like a very poor country, and I didn't grow up, like with any necessity or anything, but definitely, I wasn't with the right crowd when I growing up. I was like getting a lot of fights and stuff. And like then as an adult, I centered myself a little bit, but I always, like had that fire in me, and finding martial arts to be able to, like to have it as an outlet was a great opportunity for me as well.
Been up here training in Florida, living in Florida for quite some years. What's that one thing that still reminds you of home, reminds you of Nicaragua?
Uh, like overall, the city where I'm at, I'm in Miami, Florida. I'm in, like the 305 area. There's a lot of, like Nicaraguan people around the area that I am. That's one of the beauty things that I love about Miami, like you find your culture, a lot of Cubans, Spanish speaking people. So I feel like home, honestly, like it's never the same, of course, but I'm very happy, like to be exactly where I'm at right now.
And we're excited to see you back where we haven't seen you in a while. The Bare Knuckle Circle BKFC debut at Knuckle Mania, a fight that everyone should remember. Let's touch on that real quick. The fight, you had some adversity there in the first round, and then you stormed back to get the finish in the third. What did that fight tell you about this sport, that introduction to it?
Man, in my opinion, I think that I have, like the perfect BKFC fight, like that's the way that I see it. It was an excellent experience for me and I wouldn't change it. Yes, like I felt, for example, on the first round, I felt that I took my time, like to get comfortable in there, to kind of like get the feel of the punches as well and get my pace going. I didn't want to be reckless, because I've been always aware that it's an action fight. I like to go for the finish quick, but at the same time, when it's bare knuckle, a little punch that doesn't can be that hard can split you open, and that's the fight. The doctor's gonna start the fight, and all your hard work goes that way. So I know that I had to like be aggressive, but at the same time I need to be extremely, I need to keep that in mind as well. Avoiding damage as much as possible. So that was my mentality in the first round. Then in the second round, like kind of start like like picking up the pace a little bit, like kind of like felt okay, now I'm on a fight. But yeah, my opponent was a really, really tough and very skillful opponent, a lot better than what I expected and my team expected. So it was a hard beginning for I would say, but I'm a winner, and winners always find a way to win. I had the right advice on my corner on the third round. Uh, Marcos Avila, my mentor, and Jason Suarez, my coach and teammate. They told me that I needed to get inside, get the clinch, and make a 35. Like 35. Like working like that dirty boxing. Punches from the clinch, and I honestly feel that that's what changed the fight. It didn't finish the fight, but that's what it changed because I was the whole time on the fight in my mind. I knew I was gonna win. I never have a doubt on my mind, but I was so focused on trying to figure it out. Puzzle. It was like I need to figure this puzzle out because I need to hit him. I know that when I hit him with my right hand, it was gonna beat it, but I was having a hard time. When I started clinching with him, that's when kind of like changed his game plan. He no longer was waiting for me to get in there and hit me. He started coming forward at me, and that's what kind of helped me, because I was able to hit him with the right jab. Then I switched, like to a hook and finished the fight in a fashion way with three right hands consecutive to put him down.
Quite the finish. Loved when you turned him around in the clinch, had him basically stunned at that moment. What have you been up to since then? Why have we been unable to see you perform?
Well, I haven't stopped. So what happened after that fight? I did broke my hand. All right, so I had to have surgery. I had one surgery that I had to do a couple spoots and stuff, and then I had to have a second surgery to get them out, to make sure that like my career stay on point and make sure that like everything healed the proper way. So that was like the a whole year process. I never stopped training, like I say, like I know that I'll be doing this for quite some time. So my hand was healing, but I was always working on my footwork, working on my defense, working on my positioning, working on my other arm. And I haven't stopped preparing for this fight coming up, for my second fight. It's just been a process, with the whole recovery, physical therapy. And now, that my hand fully healed, we are ready to put a show for the fans.
What was it like the last year and a half then from the mental side, not being able to perform and having to wait for the hand to get fully recovered? How has that been for you?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I'm glad you asked that question. No lies, like the very beginning, the first couple of months, it was, like very down season. Obviously, like it was something that I was kind of like, I put it on my head too, the chances that probably gonna broke my hand, but you never know until it actually lies. So not not to fully train, and kind of like feel that I had to put that pause on my career. It was a little bit, like a downside for me. Nothing, man. I believe in my Lord Jesus Christ. I knew that He was gonna heal me fully, so I didn't lose faith, and I just keep preparing, and I kept being patient. And then to that, like I was able to put my mind in the right mind, and I spent a lot of time on that time studying a lot more the sport. I was trying to do a lot more studying when it comes to like to bare knuckle fighting, like strategies and everything, coaching a lot, which helped me to plan on, and that helps me. So now I'm in the sorry, let me turn this off. Now I'm definitely in the right mindset. It's been some time that I'm super positive, super excited. I cannot wait to get back in there and get my hand raised again.
How different do you feel that this sport is from boxing, kickboxing, MMA, from your other striking sports? How specific do you feel it was, or how prevalent do you think it was to be specifically training for bare knuckle to create something that was specific for this sport?
Well, it's a lot of factors. One is, for example, you need to be a lot more detailed exactly where you're punching and with what part of the knuckle you're punching. So that's, like one of the things that I've been focusing a lot. Like that's one of the factors. Another thing is, like mobility. I'm a smart fighter, like I say, I'm going for the long run. So my goal in there is, like to go finish my fight, finish my opponent in the faster and most fashion way, but we little damage. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna go in there reckless. So we've been focusing a lot on defense, footwork, mobility, hit and not get hit, but at the same time keeping the violence on the clinch. Keeping that close range fighting, which is like what works a lot for me. Like as a MMA fighter that I am.
Darrick Gates is going to be the opponent at BKFC 57. He's had quite a few more bare knuckle fights than you have, so I think that gives you the opportunity to look at him more. There's so much more footage out there of him in the circle than there is of you. What have you taken away from being able to look at his game?
Well, it is good. To be true, like I never was too much on my opponents. I let my coaches do that, and they are gonna be the one like kind of like gonna prepare me on that. I'm always a believer that I had to focus on me, right? Every single fight, I'm undefeated. In my career, so I have an undefeated career, but every single fight I come back better and better because I'm not waiting to lose to make adjustments. Single was making an adjustment, was improving. I'm always getting better and better. My last five, like I keep going back and trying to like find, like how can I close those gaps and basically work on any little weakness that I can find on myself. And for this fight, like my coaches have been the one doing the work, like my training partners helping me prepare for the style of my opponent. And the way that I like to see is that I'm ready for whatever, man, when I'm in there.
Besides being ready for whatever and the big fight coming up, I also see that there's talking about your mobility. I see that on your Instagram. We've seen some of the dancing, some of that jovial nature in the gym. Would you say the salsa is your trademark dance?
No, man, I just enjoy music, and the way that I see is that sometimes I need to have like a balance, when it comes to my training. I bring a lot of violence when it comes, like when I'm training for a fight. So I need to keep, like that fun aspect, sometimes I like to get loose, with some Latin music like salsa, of course, sometimes I like to listen some reggae to lose, like to kind of center me, feel that bell go back to, like vibe.
In there feeling all those good vibes. What do you feel like it's going to take to feel those good vibes on February 2nd and get your hand raised?
Listen, you guys gonna see, you guys gonna enjoy the show. I mean, that's what I do it for at the end of the day, like I don't want to be just a fighter. I want to be an entertainer, someone, like that they enjoy to listen to, that I can motivate, that I can inspire, but that at the same time that everybody can have a good time watching me, putting a show for them, displaying my skills, but most important, bringing those finishers, like I like to say that I'm a certified finisher. My all my pro fights have been, like finishes. So I want to, my plans continue that way.
Was it, and I want to touch back on the first fight real quick. Was it just that it was bare knuckle and it was new that you took that first round to kind of feel it out? Because looking at your MMA career, you don't waste much time normally.
It was not, no, it wasn't that. It was the opponent. True to be told, like it wasn't the whole bare knuckle. Like I say, as soon as I got hit the first time, I was like, oh, okay, I've been hit harder than this with gloves. you know, like, so it's not like I feel like a shot or anything. It was the opponent. You know, it took me time to adjust. Like I say, he improved a lot better from his previous fight. He was southpaw as well. I found out I was fighting him, you know, kind of like 4 weeks before the fight, so it wasn't like that much. It was plenty time, but that's mainly what it was. The first couple rounds, it was the opponent. I was trying to like, you know, like bait him in so he can come in, but he was being patient, and every time that I would go in, he was, you know, like check hooking me with and I was having a hard time finding my range. So that was mainly what it was, you know. But now for this one, like you say, I was glad that I have a lot more footage, you know, to study my opponent, or at least, you know, for my team to study the opponent and to give me a better feel of, you know, like this guy. And now we're definitely gonna be a lot more prepared, you know, and hopefully, you know, we get the work done quick.
Moment ago, you also said another word I wanted to touch on. You said inspire people. What's that message that you want to get out there?
Oh wow, I'm glad that you asked me that. Absolutely, you know, like I do want to inspire people, you know, to be amazing human beings, you know, that whatever they are in life, you know, to always, you know, look for the Lord. That's one of the things that motivated me the most, you know, to be able to share my belief and to mainly not just say it, but show it by example as well. You know, I'm a coach, so I believe a lot, you know, like on leading by example. So I want to inspire other upcoming fighters, you know, like to persevere, to believe in themselves. I want to inspire and motivate martial artists, you know, the whatever they are in life, you know, like they can, you know, like always get benefits out of it. And you know, like that's my main goal, you know, like being able to share how to be a good human being no matter what, you know.
We'll leave that note with reminding you that's to everybody but Darrick Gates because he's going to look to knock him out at BKFC 57. And after that, you guys could
Absolutely
be friends.
correct, exactly. You know, I never had nothing personal against my opponent, but I do bring it. You know, at the end of the day, the way that I see is, you know, like he's on the weight right now, you know, like for my goals, and unfortunately, he signed the contract, so he's next in line.
On that goals list, how much is it just to hopefully be active this year? I think that's a big desire for you.
Absolutely, you know, like definitely, I think that, you know, like the break is enough. Once again, I'm fully prepared to bring a lot of action, but definitely we're gonna come out at that, you know, like hopefully we are healthy to continue and staying active. You know, I feel, you know, that I had the talent, I had the potential, I had the right team. Everything is like not for me right now. So I feel that, you know, within this year, if I stay very active, you know, like even by next year, you know, I should be, you know, like a top contender and looking for the belt.
I'm so excited for BKFC 57. And again, Edgar Pazaola, I appreciate you so much for taking some time out of today to talk to me. And hopefully I can grab you live in person next week at the event.
Absolutely, man. I want to say thank you so much for having me, you know, and give you a good shout outs to my Lord Jesus Christ, you know, without him, you know, nothing of this is possible. My family. I want to say thank you to my team, the Freestyle Fighting Academy, my sponsors, El Toro Loco, Churrasqueria. And I want to say thank you to all the supporters. Come and watch me. You know, I want to give a show for you guys. I want to show new skills, new talent. I want to show, you know, a fashion finish. All right. So it's going to be a highlight. So don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to watch a live.